If Carlos Diaz comes out of his house and tries to kill me live on YouTube, then it's just gonna have to be what it's gonna be, Carlos. This is not paranoia. This is not a crazy person. This is not someone who is erratic. I will really enjoy the cops coming here.
Stop.
Oh, stop, I couldn't hear.
You have a weapon on you. Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Who's in your truck, sir?
Ooh-wee, crypto just got interesting again, and not because the price is going up. You guys all know who Ben Armstrong, formerly known as BitBoy Crypto, is. He's the goofiest guy in crypto, and at this point, his lunacy has basically made him part of the internet lore. And now his shenanigans have gone so far as to get himself arrested on livestream, which is pretty insane. It's hilarious, and we can probably all just thank Ben for bringing some attention to the crypto space, because there's undoubtedly going to be big YouTubers making videos about this today. For example, it's already gotten CoffeeZilla's attention, and I'm sure he's going to be making a video about it real soon. I'm sure many of you guys have been up to date with what's going on in BitBoy Crypto's world and how he's been kicked off of the channel. But for those of you that don't, let me just catch you up on the lore real quick. About a month ago, Ben was kicked off of the BitBoy Crypto channel, and then they changed their channel to the Discover Crypto channel, and Ben made his own. It's already been growing really fast in subscribers, and as they were parting ways, Ben had a video posted on the old BitBoy channel with him sitting and talking with his wife and saying how he had cheated on his wife with this girl Cassandra, or the Duchess of DeFi on Twitter, and that he was doing steroids and he was going to be staying with his wife and all this crazy stuff. But he pretty much maintains that TJ and the other people on the BitBoy channel stole the channel from him and that it was a hostile takeover. And the community was starting to take sides, and it looked like a lot of people were really actually choosing Ben Armstrong's side. But last night, things started to get a little bit wacky. The video has since been deleted, so I gotta show you the video over here on this channel, My Crypto Journey. You should probably go watch this video after you watch mine, because he was actually fast enough to record all of the live stream and show everybody what happened. And apart from him and maybe a couple other people, it seems like almost nobody actually has the footage, but I'm sure people are copying it and it's getting around by now. Anyway, I'm not going to comment on all of his video, but he did have something to say that I think we can pretty much all agree with.
What I do know is that Ben is a bad look for cryptocurrency. He's not the guy you want representing our space. He's just not. Every big YouTuber that's outside of cryptocurrency knows about Ben Armstrong because he makes an ass of himself. And tonight just proves that point. He makes an ass out of himself once again. Let's watch the video.
I was just talking yesterday about how he's a clown, really, and he is not good for the crypto space. Honestly, him doing all of this stuff is hopefully setting him apart from all of the crypto bros and making him his own thing so that we can all kind of get together and move on in a more professional manner. But I don't know how him and the old BitBoy Crypto crew are going to fit into that situation after all of this. But anyway, last night Ben posted on X saying that he was going to be going live soon from a very special location on YouTube, so get ready, this is going to be good. And man, it sure was. Some of you guys might remember whenever Ben went over to SBF's house in the Bahamas and was basically stalking him.
What you're doing is not allowed.
What are we doing?
All right?
What are we doing?
Recording or whatever of you have delayed property.
And I guess that got him enough attention because he took that idea again and he ran with it, going and stalking some of his previous employees, allegedly.
Let's watch the video.
Come hell or high water, if Carlos Diaz comes out of his house and tries to kill me live on YouTube, then it's just gonna have to be what it's gonna be, Carlos.
Oh yeah, apparently Carlos was supposedly threatening him or something like that. But from what I hear, BitBoy has a history of being violent and threatening a lot of people, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. All of these are alleged, obviously. I don't really know anything for sure about this situation. I don't know these people.
You guys see, when I see a car coming down the street, I have to think about protecting myself. That's where I'm at, guys. This is not paranoia. This is not a crazy person. This is not someone who is erratic. This is not someone...
Bruh. I mean, he's definitely being erratic, and he did say he was on steroids. Also, there is a lot of rumors that the police did find some narcotics in his car, maybe. But I don't know, those might just be rumors. He did supposedly get out last night, and on his Twitter, when he got out, he did post this saying, "This is the hardest tweet I've ever had to make. I need to make a confession I've never imagined I would admit. I'm not even really sure I have the courage to say this, but I'm going to do my best. Here it goes. My name is Ben, and I'm a loiterer. I did 8 whole hours in the slammer." So apparently he went to jail for loitering? That doesn't really even make sense. I would think it was probably more for like menacing and something like threatening with a weapon, or I don't really know what the charges would be called, especially in Georgia. But basically he's trying to make a joke out of the whole thing. And he didn't mention anything about drugs in the car. So I guess eventually the truth will probably reveal itself.
This is someone who has been in the fear for his life for too long. And now, somebody just texted me, said they're going to call the cops. I will really enjoy the cops coming here.
Yeah, I guess he's going to enjoy it. But what did he expect to happen? Of course the cops are going to come if you're out there screaming and acting like a fool. And honestly, he must be absolutely unhinged if he had drugs in the car, doing all this nonsense and knowing that the cops are going to show up. So maybe he didn't have any drugs. But still, this guy is acting absolutely nuts.
Police are here, guys. So we'll have to talk. Here's the point. He goes out there. He doesn't even go out there. He pays someone to take pictures in front of Ben Dottie's house, okay? And then he tells them, I better hurry up quickly here. He told me he went out there and roughed up Ben Dottie's, fought him and beat him up, and Maxine Waters, a politician, told him to kill Ben Dottie's with a fentanyl syringe.
This is really wild. Maxine Waters, bro, like, come on, dude. These sound like full-on paranoid delusions, but maybe there's really some substance to what he's saying. I don't know.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, do me a favor.
Yep.
Hey, stop.
Hey, how's it going?
Stop.
Oh, hey.
Stop.
Oh, stop. I couldn't hear.
You have a weapon on you.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So,
I have one in my vehicle, but I do not have a weapon on me.
okay.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Take out your whatever fanny pack.
Sorry, I reached too fast. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, so far, I guess he's made some threatening behaviors. I don't really know that he's done actually any crimes. If Carlos supposedly did threaten him, then I guess he could have a gun with him unless he's a felon or something, just so that he can protect himself in case of an actual confrontation or altercation. But in my opinion, it's obviously just a really bad idea to go and try to ramp up the situation and bring a weapon and just put yourself in a bad situation that could turn ugly. And from what I can tell, he's just standing on the public street, so I don't see anything illegal about that. And you have freedom of speech, so he can say whatever he wants on the public street. However, knowing how many laws there are on the books, I'm sure they can find something to throw at him. But no matter the excuse, this is unhinged behavior, and it's actually great to see some entertainment coming back to the crypto space.
Okay.
Put the phone down.
Okay. I'll put the phone down. Okay.
Put the phone.
All right. Okay. All right.
I'm surprised these cops haven't like tased him or thrown him on the ground or something. He's making some pretty crazy moves, throwing around his fanny pack and stuff like that. Like, he already said he had a weapon around. He might have one in the fanny pack for all they know. I know he's got some kind of hero complex, but man, he really needs to be careful with his delusions and crazy actions over here. He could actually end up getting hurt.
Put the fanny pack down.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on? This man inside of this house.
Actually, he's gonna check you real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the weapons.
I'm sorry. I have a. Okay. Yep. No weapons. No weapons.
Where in the car is your gun?
It's in the back seat.
Back seat?
Yep.
Is anybody else in the car?
Man, he's crazy. And this is about to get even crazier, actually. This is interesting right here.
Who?
What's that?
Who's in your car?
Let's.
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Who's in your truck, sir?
Cassie is in my car. Cassie's in my
All
truck.
right, Cassie.
Cassie's in my truck. My wife knows that we're here, by the way. She knows we came to do this.
If you guys haven't been paying attention, Cassie is that girl that he was cheating with over here. And he just said that his wife knew that she was in the truck with him and that they were going to do this stuff. Also, he did say on Twitter or X that him and his wife and Cassie are trying to figure this out. They're all grown adults capable of making their own decisions, and we don't need any of you to help us with that decision. So please butt out of our personal life as it relates to my relationships. I don't know what kind of love triangle they got going on here, But I do know that Ben is obviously a multimillionaire and probably his wife doesn't want to lose all that money. So maybe she's open to letting him have a mistress or something weird like that. But I don't know. This is obviously just speculation. But it does seem pretty shady, and he's obviously trying to hide it from his community. So maybe he isn't being totally honest about this whole situation after all.
We got about 2,500 people watching. So Cassie's a girl I had an affair with. She's involved in the situation with me and this guy here. My wife knows. We were just at my daughter's tennis match. Cassie and I have came over here because this man is extorting me. He's death threatening me. He stole my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is in his garage right now.
That's pretty much the end of it. And that's crazy stuff. I mean, imagine having a Lamborghini. I would probably be skeptical of even letting my wife drive it, let alone having my business partner or one of my employees keep it in their garage. That's nuts. And how did he lose control over all of the BitBoy crypto channel anyway? From what I understand, he is the majority holder, but I guess he made TJ CEO. What the hell was he thinking, man? I'm not here to say that he's definitively on any kind of certain drugs. I mean, he did say that he was on steroids, but he wasn't specific on which ones. And I know he has a history with stuff like speed, so I know that can make you think pretty crazy. But man, he really just seems like he's totally off the rails and he's lost it. And it almost makes me feel bad for him, but cheating on your wife and all of that crazy stuff, it's hard to feel bad, really. I mean, he did it to himself. I mean, what can you say? But anyway, I guess he's not very responsible with money and stuff like that anyway, because apparently, according to the lore, he was giving Cassandra about $50,000 a month for, I don't know, I guess just pussy.
And using it to take loans, which totaled over $176,000 worth of loans. So that's the first thing. And they talk about this being transferred, unlawfully pledging, assigning company property. So again, they keep talking about this loan that he took against the company's Bored Ape Yacht Club. Then it says here, unlawfully diverting sums as large as $50,000 per month from the company's sponsorship revenue to an independent contractor who Armstrong was having an inappropriate relationship with. So here what they're saying is that he was taking money from the company, $50,000 a month, and paying it to a company which was allegedly owned by Cassie, who is the lady that Ben was allegedly having an affair with.
So she must have that immaculate cake. I would say that that's enough to probably get you fired from any job. And if you own the company, then that might be enough to try to, I guess, cause people to do a coup. I mean, $50,000 is a lot of money to be paying to somebody who's not really even an employee. And if that was supposed to be sponsorship money, like Rand said, then I could see the employees having a grievance in that situation because that was supposed to be their money. But anyway, these are all just allegations and nothing is really confirmed yet. And Ben's been really trying hard to keep all of this secret. But it looks like that might be what actually caused all of this to come to a head yesterday because TJ apparently went on the Altcoin Daily Show and he spilled a bunch of tea about Ben and the situation that's been going on, which Ben obviously didn't take very kindly to, and I guess that set him off. Let's watch some pieces of this interview because this is really where the tea's at.
Wasn't any one thing. It was the combination of all the things, and it was really the way it would affect his behavior towards people, attacking people, raging on. Roid rage was not uncommon.
Today, I sit down with the man accused of stealing BitBoy crypto.
Yesterday, BJ Investment Holdings, the parent company of Hit Network, took decisive legal action in removing Ben Armstrong from the company.
That was TJ Shed, who is the CEO of BitBoy Crypto, now rebranded to Discover Crypto. Why does Ben say that you stole his son's channel?
TJ should go to prison. Slave. They wanted me to be a slave. This company will be dead in 3 months, for sure.
And today, in this exclusive interview, I confront TJ on those allegations. Well, he says he's innocent, and your way of help is to kick him to the curb.
So basically, TJ says that he met Ben back in 2018, and they had their own channels on Instagram or something like that. But TJ was doing a sponsorship business, and Ben had his own channel that needed some sponsorship help, and he brought TJ on. And then TJ started taking more of a leadership role, trying to turn the thing into a business instead of just a channel. But Ben started the channel and he was really the owner and controlled everything with an iron fist. Supposedly they started off being friends and they had a lot of good memories and everything. But Ben has anger issues supposedly, and that caused some tension in the relationship.
The reason we've been so private is this is a very serious issue that affects a lot of people. You know, a lot of people in the real world, in the social media world, but also just in crypto in general. And part of it, I don't know if a lot of people saw the Ordinary Gamers video that came out recently, but this is starting to really float up to mainstream YouTube and is starting to put it is putting all crypto content creators in somewhat of a bad light, and the crypto content creation space in a bad light. And it's getting kind of referred to as a lower class of YouTube. And, you know, I don't like that. That's not good for us. That's not good for any content creator. You know, you guys work really hard. George works really hard. Coin Bureau works really hard. Tons of people here, Frankie Candles, people on Around the Blockchain, BitLab Academy. We have, and everybody else in the content creation space. I mean, everybody's, especially in crypto, they're working really hard to make a positive impact, not only for themselves, but to educate people about crypto. And when things like this happen in the public light very negatively, it's a bad effect for everybody here. So
that I agree with. And that basically goes back to what that other guy was saying earlier. There are a lot of clowns in the crypto space, especially during a bull market, because it's really easy to make money here. And you really don't have to know anything about crypto during the bull market to get people to watch your channel. You just got to mention some kind of crypto. So people do cash grabs, obviously. But the people that have stuck around through the bear market do actually work very hard on the content that they make. And we take this stuff very seriously. So it does suck to have somebody making a mockery of the whole space and making us all look bad like that.
it's a sad situation and it's a painful situation.
It's incredibly sad.
But yeah, anyway, I think this is where it gets juicy.
When did the relationship with you and Ben start to erode? What were the first signs?
Mine and his relationship, when did it start to erode? I mean, I'd say it really, probably this summer. I don't know about first signs. We've had, blow ups in the past, and a lot of people could attest to that, employees in the office. I think the very first time he blew up at me was not long into our relationship. Might have even been before a lot of things were really formalized. It was when I was just helping him. The very first argument we ever got into, I was talking to him about a project that I felt like was a questionable project to be covering. And the specific word I used was cash grab. And he just absolutely lost his mind, raged on me, threw something at me he missed, but it could have hurt me pretty badly. And it was just a big blow up. And that was the first time I really realized, okay, he's got some anger. And
bruh, I mean, why would you go into business with somebody like that? He said that was before things were formalized or whatever, but like, bro, if somebody threw something at me that could injure me, I would not go into business with them and start a multi-million-dollar company and then go in together and share a Lamborghini. What were these people thinking? I mean, who could have seen this stuff coming? Holy crap.
And he was very sensitive to the word cash grab based on some of his reputation in the past.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Now, he did still end up doing the review for that project.
Getting defensive because he knew he was probably just doing a cash grab, allegedly.
All of those sorts of things in the future, and just don't ever use that word again. But that was a long time ago. And, I just kind of learned how to handle that with him. Then there'd been some other blowups and, here and there over minor things. He would say probably semantics over words. He did assault me one time in the office. So that's what other people have referenced. One time he kind of like pinned me in a chair and pushed his forehead against my forehead. And, it was a rage moment. And there was 5-6 people in the room when it happened. It wasn't until things really started to get out of control that, real problems started to happen. And I would say that started happening for me in around, May, summertime ish of this year.
So all of this is starting to make a little bit more sense. Obviously, it's pretty dangerous to be working with somebody like that. And after you build up such a big company, it's going to be hard just to cut ties or just basically fire everybody and let them just be crazy or whatever you would have to do to keep people safe. But it's hard to feel bad for anybody in this situation anyway, because Ben is doing all this garbage to himself and TJ knew that he was violent. So why would you even get into a business partnership with him in the first place? I mean, I know there's a lot of money to be made in the crypto space, but aren't you trying to make money so that your life will be better? Why would you do all of this stuff to yourself? Like I've said in the past, I'm pretty glad that I'm not one of the big crypto channels because that just seems like too much stress, honestly. I just appreciate the small community that I've got right now.
23. Because I really care for Ben, and I'm willing to work with him through a lot of different situations, and we have in the past.
You say you care for Ben. The audience is probably shouting. The actions don't show it. So I do want to break that down with you.
Let's do it.
Why did you fire Ben?
We had to remove Ben from the company for a variety of different reasons. The main one was the material harm and damage he was creating, a massive amount of liability exposure to the company, himself, and every single one of the employees within the company.
This story gets a little bit long right here, and I want you guys to go watch the whole video, but I'll summarize it real quick. Basically, it turned out that Ben had a gambling problem, allegedly, and then whenever that came out, things started to go downhill. Eventually, it came out that he was having that affair with Cassandra and that a bunch of people that worked with him knew about it, so he got upset, and he wanted a list of names of all of the people that knew about it so that he could confront them. And in the past, supposedly similar situations have led to physical confrontations and lawsuits for the company. So TJ saw it as a liability and he didn't want to put any of the employees in danger. So he refused to give Ben the list, and Ben basically went off and got angry. And that's where I'll let TJ pick back up telling the story here.
And so on Saturday afternoon, I was driving in the car. My wife and baby were in the car with me, and I called him to basically tell him, hey, I can't give you that list. And when I said those words, he went into full rage mode on me and threatened to kill me, threatened to beat me to death, said if I ever come in the building again, I was done, threatened to burn the entire business to the ground, basically threatened to do everything that he's doing right now. Said, I'm going to, I'll go after your dad. I'll go after everybody. I'll destroy the whole business. I'll make sure everybody loses their job. If you don't do what I want, I will make sure everything burns. I basically told him, I know you will, because I know you, and I know that's how you operate. But I still can't give you this list, and I just can't do it. And in the conversation was yelling and screaming at me, basically blaming me for not stopping his actions earlier, saying if I cared about the company, I would have done something, I would have prevented him from making his mistakes somehow. So basically blaming me for his mistakes. And he literally said, my biggest problem was that I cared more about Ben personally than I did the company. And that if I cared about the company, then I would be acting differently. Which hit me pretty hard. I care about Ben as a person. I'm not a money person like he is. Like I care more about people than I do about money. And this is financially devastating for me. This is not a money thing for me. This is standing up for what's right and trying to protect people that couldn't protect themselves.
So yeah, I guess Ben was a liability allegedly, and that's whenever it all took a turning point. Ben was threatening people's lives, and allegedly he was pulling $50,000 a month away and giving it to his mistress. He was doing steroids and maybe even Adderall, and he had a gambling problem, allegedly. So I could definitely see wanting him out of the business, but to me it still seems kind of weird that you could take the man's whole business away from him when he's the one that started it, and he should be the majority holder of the company. I'm not a lawyer and I don't really know, but I think it would suck to be in anybody's situation in this whole situation, and I don't envy any of them.
And I do want to quickly say, if you look at a lot of the statements he's been making, there's a lot of blaming, there's a lot of denying, there's a lot of excusing his behavior, but there's not a lot of responsibility for the actions that he's actually taken. There's not a lot of ownership for the things that he's done. And even throughout all of this, that's what was happening. He was blaming me for all of the things that he did. I didn't have an affair. I didn't have a gambling addiction. I didn't treat my employees badly. I didn't do any of these things. He's just angry now that it's coming out and that there's consequences. And it feels like he's lashing out at all of the people that are closest to him. And the people that try to help him the most are the ones he seems to be lashing out and targeting the most right now, which is, it's tough, but it's not necessarily uncommon in situations like these.
Well, he says he's innocent, and your way of help is to kick him to the curb.
No, that's not true. We've never kicked him to the curb. We've always been trying to help him. He couldn't continue within this business, and for a variety of reasons, but we're not kicking him to the curb. We wanted him to get help. We wanted him to spend time with his family. Like, we've been trying to help, and his uncle was trying to help him. Everybody's been trying to help him. So
I don't know about that. It seems like the company has definitely kicked him to the curb. Maybe they are personally not trying to kick him to the curb as friends, but as business partners, it seems that way. It looks like they took his own company from him and his whole brand and everything, and I'm sure he had his personal identity strongly attached to that. So I'm sure he's devastated to lose it all. And if they really wanted to help him and he was having substance abuse and loyalty issues and stuff like that, then maybe he needed to go to rehab or get some help or something like that. But he could still be welcomed back into the company whenever he returns, or he would just take a leave of absence or whatever and return as if nothing really changed whenever he gets better. But I don't know. This whole thing obviously isn't even over yet. And at one point in this interview, they did say that BitBoy still owns like 60-something% of the company. So maybe it'll all get split up or something in court. Or maybe even Ben will get control back over the company somehow. I have no idea. But I'm not worried about Ben, and I'm sure he's going to be fine. And I don't think anybody should really feel bad for him. Because for one thing, obviously this whole situation is going to have everybody talking about him and bring a lot of attention to his new channel, which has already grown to over 50,000 subscribers in less than a week. And he's been on X asking for donations from his community, even though he's got several cars, a multi-million-dollar house, and tens of thousands of dollars Rolexes and all of these things. But he says he had to borrow $20 to get gas when he could really just go pawn a Rolex or something ridiculous like that, even though he's asking for donations from his community who are actually probably struggling to pay off their credit card bills that have 30% interest rates. But I guess maybe the viewers also have their personal identities all tied up to Ben's brand. And let's be honest, a lot of people are really just stupid. So apparently people have given him over $60,000 in donations in just XRP alone. Basically what I'm saying is Ben's gonna be just fine. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Is Ben in the right here? Should he have had his whole company taken away from him? Or is he just a clown who gets what he deserves?
Get what you fucking deserve!
And do you think he even has a small chance of getting his channel back? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget I've got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and there's early access on X. Also, if you want real-time updates or just to chat with the community, you can do that in the Only Good Discord channel. There's a link down in the description, and if you want to support the channel, you can find my gear over at onlygoodcrypto.com. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, or follow on X if you enjoyed the content. And also, if you want to watch that full altcoin daily interview, there's going to be a link down in the description to that as well. Don't forget to have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.